Hello, good morning, Miami Dolphins fans, and whoever else is tuning in. Welcome to the Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Fins Talk Sports Network. That's FinStanza Posner. I'm Bobby Fins Talk. Thank you all for joining us. Like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And let's get the ball rolling. Ender's already in the house. Rob is going to lunch with his son. He'll tune in and out. But everyone else tune in, whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, thank you all for tuning in. We got some great stuff today. Obviously, the Dolphins play the Giants after the shellacking, as FinStanza will call it, of last week. The Buffalo Bills over the Dolphins. Dolphins look to bounce back this week against the New York Football Giants, and I think we all are thinking that will go down. Even a Giants fan I was watching seemed like a good show. It was only a 10-minute kind of a roll, but it was a Giants fan, and he was honest about it. He was like, if the Giants beat the Dolphins, it's this football god's doing it, So, they know where it stands. But we're going to get into all that. But before we get into that, let's talk to FinStanza Posner. I want to see how he's doing this week. He has some big plans next week. I haven't heard anything about
Where am I going?
Huh?
Where am I going? Where am I going?
You got the Carolina Panthers game coming up.
I don't
want to overlook
that.
the Giants.
But I know I booked my ticket to Raleigh. I'm really excited.
That's right. So what I want to know about, obviously we're going to touch on that throughout the show, but before anything, Chase Claypool, he's not playing today supposedly. He's going to sit this one out. It's too quick of a turnaround. But he'll wear number 84. Before we get into the Giants versus Dolphins, your thoughts on that trade. Do you like it? Do you hate it?
No risk. It's a no risk, high reward. We gave up a second round. He was almost given up for a first rounder last year between the Packers and the Bears. He was not happy with the Bears. I don't want to hear this nonsense that he may be a cancer. That I don't want to hear that. Honestly,
I ain't worried about that.
He's a capable player who had in his rookie year, had 60 plus receptions, almost 900 yards, got another 50 something receptions in his second year. And you have to remember, he was not playing with a superstar quarterback. He was playing at the tail end of Ben Roethlisberger's career, where the offense was not stout, and he was able to still pick up 800-yard seasons with Ben Roethlisberger. So for me, I'm totally fine with the deal. It's no risk, no reward. This is basically it's insurance because Eazy-E, we don't know what the story is going to be with his non-football injury with his neck. Craycraft is out for 4 games. You need depth at the wide receiver position, and he's a weapon. And on this team, they do well with weapons. So I'm totally fine with it.
And again, I'm not worried about the locker room situation or whatever. Unless he was the number 1 receiver, then that could be a conversation. You're trading to be your number 1 or 2. He's not. He's your number 4 right now. Yeah. I'm not worried about it. We got Tyreek. We got Jalen. We got Tua as your leader. Exactly. We're not worried about him impacting the locker room in any way, shape, or form. No. So it's very low risk. I mean, if it was bare minimum, but high reward because we know the ceiling of this guy. He was drafted in the second round, 6'4", 230 something. I mean, and he has speed. I mean, we talk about big body, and I know we were talking about Chosen with that. Chosen hasn't really, and he's a journeyman. And you could put that label on, on Claypool, but Claypool's he's still on his rookie contract. Yeah. This guy hasn't even hit. We know who Chosen Anderson is. We don't know what Chase Claypool could be, but we know that he has a high ceiling. He could be that 3-2 receiver for Miami if everything goes well. That's how good he could be. Aladino, I believe today is your birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. A proud Libra. I'm proud of you. He's a proud Libra. I appreciate it.
There you go.
I'm a Libra too, so I'm a proud Libra.
Ender 2-0 on Fins Talk Sports Network giveaways. Him and Hunter got 2 hats yesterday. Nice. Ender can connect with me on email. I'll send him. I think I still have it. I'll find it. I'll send him a link to where to look for his hat. Ben is in the house. Of course he is.
By the way, the best. I'm just looking quickly. You know how I was showing you just before the show how Tua gets dressed before the games. You know what Tyreek's wearing today? He's wearing a shirt with Tua on it, with the back of Tua holding up the finger number 1.
There you go.
Acknowledge me. That's gorgeous. I'm just saying that's the family environment of our team.
So
that's amazing.
Again, we're coming up. That's something. Let's talk on that. We're again, it's a pregame show, but we yesterday on Fins Talk today, It was funny because I had it all listed out, and I was like, man, 5 trades the Dolphins should be looking at before the deadline. And of course, right before the show, the Dolphins make a trade. And if anybody wants to say, there's no way they're going after this guy, there's no way they're going after this position, there's no way they're going after a receiver, they went after a receiver, a guy with a high ceiling too, even though you know where he's at his career right now. So nobody's off the table. I don't believe in that. I don't care who you're and I had honorable mentions, but I didn't say them on yesterday's show. I could talk about it today, but I wanted to get your 2 cents per se, because you touched on it a little bit throughout the comments. You saw who I had on that list. Okay. I don't think any position or person is off the table as long as Miami and Chris Greer believes it could help the team win down the line. So did I miss anyone? I want to talk about the honorable mention, and it's really just one right now. Jonathan Taylor, who was connected.
I'm happy he signed. I would never have given him $12.5 million. I would never give him $13 million.
Congratulations to Jonathan Taylor. He won the face-off with Jim Israel. He got his contract. Congratulations to him. Great running back. Happy for him. But yesterday, let me just try to remember. I don't have it in front of me, but Danielle Hunter, edge rusher, Chase Young, Kareem Jackson, defensive back, Chris Jones, defensive lineman, Garrett Bowles, offensive lineman. Any of those guys?
Right, and you also had Danielle Hunter.
I said Danielle Hunter from the Vikings. So edge rushers, defensive line, offensive line. Those were my top 5. I did have one honorable mention. I'll talk about it, but I want to find out from you. Anybody stand out? And is there anybody that you think I missed?
Garrett Bowles stands out only because of Armstead's uncertainty at left tackle right now. Kendall Lamb will do the job, but then who's behind Kendall Lamb? That's my
and this guy's a starter. This guy's one of the better tackles in the NFL.
Yeah,
top 15, 72.4, something like that.
Yeah. Besides that, for me, the edge rushers and the defensive players on the front 7. My concern about that is only because we brought in Bradley Chubb and he's had his moments, but he hasn't. For me right now, I'm less concerned about the front 7 as a unit than I am about the secondary. And the reason I say that is because they've yet to, outside of Van Ginkel, none of them have proven they've adapted to Vic Fangio's system. So unless the players are really comfortable playing that defense that Vic Fangio has been playing for years, because a lot of these guys played in the Josh Boyer zero blitz defense, until they show me what they can do and have a great game on the defense, I don't think it doesn't matter who you go get on that defense to go get to the quarterback. They're not going to get to the quarterback. My concern is more the secondary, because what it showed last week is that if he's going to be stubborn with Kader Kohu, and that's why we needed Jalen Ramsey as bad as we do, we still need a stout corner. And if he doesn't think Cam Smith is ready, and we saw Brandon Jones is not ready, is Deshaun Elliott is back, great. But when we go against Philly, and you're going to have to go against Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, and your options are Kader Kohu, Eli Apple, and on the other side, Xavier Howard, one of those receivers between Smith and Brown is going to torch you. So whether it's a Bryce Callahan, whether it's going to get somebody else, I don't care who, as a free agent or a trade, I'm more concerned about the corner position until Jalen Ramsey gets back. That would have showed me that you never have too much depth at corner. And what it's showing me is so far the people they put at corner, when they're putting them against a star receiver, unless it's X, there's struggles there. And that I'm concerned about that. That's my number one concern on the defense last week. And it also happened with Eli Apple when he played. So that's my concern, is the other side of that ball. Is covering another wide receiver. That's my biggest, because Needham's not back yet. So until we see something there, that's actually my number one concern. Offensive line for depth for Armstead and corner, because I don't believe in Apple right now, as what I've been seeing. And Kohu is an undrafted free agent who was, and for me, from a Division II school, great player, but you put him against an A.J. Brown, a Devontae Smith, a Stephon Diggs, he's going to get torched. He's going to get torched.
So, again, let me welcome Scotty's in the house. Go get Devin White. That's somebody that Brett Lagasse was talking about as a linebacker, bringing him in. That's somebody he brought up. Good morning, Eric. Good to see you, my friend. I'm excited to see H&N take over running back 1. We don't need a $10 million running back. And I guess that's for the Jonathan Taylor news. I will say, though, in regards of that, Achin should get more reps. I think he will with Mozart. I think Mozart does have a bounce-back game. But I will say, in regards of trading for a back, especially with how Miami is, if there's a back available, I would not be surprised if they made the move. There's guys there. Free agents are still there. I think we'll see how Mozart responds this game. I think Miami the fans love it. We love it. We love what we see from Devon Achin. But, and Miami obviously loves it. Okay, we've seen he's going to get more reps. But he is a rookie. The only way I see Brooks getting involved, and I like Brooks, is if Miami's blowing them out and he comes in and gets some reps. We're still waiting on Jeff Wilson. But, again, the guys...
I would use him on third down. With the struggles they've had on third down, if they need a 3rd and 1, what I would definitely do on a 3rd and 1, and they need that extra yard or it's inches, you either bring in Mike White to try to sneak it because you don't want Tua to get hurt, or you bring in Brooks. You need something strategic. That's the one thing they've never tried, and that's what I would do, personally.
Let me see something very quick. I don't want to...
So that's what I would do in that situation.
Absolutely. I just wanted to check on something just very quick. What
do you want to check? What are you looking for?
Oh, nothing. Just I already saw it. I'm just looking very quick. But no, you're absolutely right. And they need somebody for a 3rd down. And do they trust Chris Brooks on those big key, because obviously Josh Jacobs would be a good pickup. That's somebody who's on my what do you call I don't want to say wild card. What did I just honorable mention as trades Miami may look at? And I know people go, oh, but we have Devon Achin. Hey, absolutely. But Miami has shown they will not skip on any position if it means getting a player that can help this team win. I love that, Eric, and I'm glad you brought it up. A guy, again, I will not sleep on, and that I would not say, oh, there's no way. Not saying it's going to happen, but he is available. His team's not doing as good as they want. They're cutting cost. He was and still is one of the stud backs. You're talking about a guy you can put in for 3rd down, and he's splitting carries with Devon Achin, who's a rookie, and you don't have to. And guess what? His what you got to trade for him, that's dropped.
Yeah.
What you may have to pay for him, that's dropped.
Yeah.
Can you guess who I'm going to bring up?
To bring in?
Yes. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Offense or defense?
He's on offense. We just talked about Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
So that's a hint. So I'm saying a guy, his price is probably dropped. His price to trade for it probably dropped. But if you're talking about a 3rd down guy who can get you that 3rd down, who is he? Anybody want to take a guess who I'm talking about here? I brought him up earlier in the offseason.
Not Derrick Henry. He's doing fine.
Derrick Henry.
Don't sleep on them because the AFC South is not doing that badly, right? They're
trying to cut costs. They don't want to pay anybody. They're trying to get rid of Fournette's a good. I like. Fournette.
I'll keep on referring. It's just $17.5 million on the cap for the. I guess you got to prorate it, right?
Prorated, yeah.
Yeah.
But again,
because right now A-Chain is
running back. It's not a situation where, again, it could be Josh Jacobs, whatever. Leonard Fournette would be a perfect pickup. You're talking about a 3rd down back, a power back. If Jeff Wilson doesn't come back, if Mozart continues to struggle, I just tell you, do not sleep on a move like that. It could happen, especially people would have said before the trade for Claypool, why would Miami trade for a receiver? We have Braxton, we have Tyreek, we have Jalen. Miami did it. So don't sleep on any position. Talking about the Giants. Giants right now, offensively, they're ranked 31st in the NFL with Brian Daboll as their head coach. And defense, they're ranked 19th. Miami, of course, is the number 1 offense in the NFL and the 26th defense in the league right now. So the worst offense almost against one of the statistically worst defenses. But the best offense in football versus mediocre defense. So is there anything, though, devil's advocate, Evan, is there anything about the Giants that would concern you today for the Dolphins?
If Saquon plays. is one concern.
That's true.
Because the run stoppage of Christian Wilkins is non-existent. The linebackers aren't tackling. And I consider this. Obviously the Dolphins should demolish the Giants, but this is what I call a kitchen sink game. And for the NFL loves the Giants and they love the Steelers. And I just have this weird feeling it's on national TV on Fox, where Daniel Jones also is an outside. He's a runner, and we don't do great against runners. You have to keep him inside the pocket again. You have to force him to make mistakes. So don't let him extend plays. So I'm not worried about our offense because our offense will put up the point. It's whether or not our defense learns its lesson, because it was the 20 points they gave up. They really only gave up 13, so they played well, but they played Denver. My only concern is the defense being still a same old defense, because that will still give me pause, because this should be a game where you should be able to get takeaways. You should be able to get to the quarterback, and you should be able to stop him. There's a reason why you have these elite players on defense, these so-called elite players on defense, and I don't want to hear that you're a Jalen Ramsey away from this becoming a phenomenal defense. No. There's a lot of heavy contracts on that defense, and there's a lot of guys who are going for contracts, and they haven't proven their worth yet this season. So my only concern is allowing the running ability of Daniel Jones, and allowing, if Saquon Barkley, if he plays, to get the best of us and get a little too cocky. This should not be a back and forth game.
Well, against the 31st best offense, right? Yeah. I mean, if you allow them to score more than, and I didn't see the Matt Milano injury, and praise up for him. Sucks. Buffalo Bills linebacker Matt Milano injured today. I heard it was a bad injury. But against the 31st best offense in the NFL that's clearly struggling, there is no reason why they should score more than 20 points. Our defense should hold up.
Yeah.
And heaven forbid that the Dolphins do lose to the Giants or beat the Giants, but let the Giants score more than 20. I'm talking about 25 to 30. Defense has an issue, a major issue. And so
I'll put it to you this way. Because we talked about before the show, if the Miami Dolphins make this a close game between them and the Giants, the team, Vic Fangio, is going to be to the Miami Dolphin fans, he's going to be at Mario Cristobal's level. It's going to be that bad. It's going to be ridiculous, because you already had 4 games. You have star players there, and either the players aren't buying into it, or what he's doing, he's not adjusting to his players. Because you said this yesterday, and you say this when I made a comment last week about Claypool and the difficulty of the scheme. Is you mold the defense around the players that you have. You don't try to force your players to play a defense that they're struggling with. So if they've been struggling with this defense for the first 4 weeks, you have to make tweaks to that defense in order to adjust, because you can't flip over the entire defense. So you have to be able to adjust and make it easier and simpler for this defense to get home. And as a 35-year veteran in the NFL, you need to be more forceful. I disagree with him being up there, because I don't think it's worked. I think he has to be down on the field, but that's neither here nor there. That's just my opinion. I like having our coordinator who on the field. So when the players are coming off the field, they get the scowl of Vic Fangio. They don't have to worry about it until halftime or after the game. They see that their coach is staring at them dead in the face that they screwed up.
Absolutely. All right. So let's go ahead and let me review, make sure I'm not missing anything here. I know we're still waiting on inactives. That should come closer to game time.
I keep on refreshing.
Say that one more time.
I keep on refreshing the feed till we can find out. So.
Evan usually says things 3 or 4 times. Just make sure everybody hears you.
Sorry.
Keep on refreshing. I keep on refreshing. I hear it's like a rap. It's like, we get it. No, I'm just kidding.
Keep on refreshing. Keep on refreshing. Staying fresh.
So Bears signed running back off Dolphins practice squad. Who's that?
Jared Dokes? I don't know.
Oh, okay. Darrington Evans.
Okay.
He was signed to the Chicago Bears after the trade.
Okay. Doesn't affect me much. It's
I don't
been
have this guy
announced.
starting, do I?
Giants, Barkley, per Ian Rappaport, it's likely that it looks like Saquon's going to play today.
Oh, okay. So that's a key right there. Because Dolphins have been struggling to stop the run, and they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
All right. So let me just. All right, Herbert, Khalil Herbert. Sorry, for Chicago.
Khalil Herbert. You mean Khalil Herbert?
Is that how I say his last name? Herbert.
Herbert.
He is out for multiple weeks, so I have to. I was just checking to see if he was benched on my fantasy team, and he is. So I'm safe.
Priorities.
He's got to be.
I'm an even 500. I'm like an even 500 on all my pools. Survivor.
I've been like the Dolphins this year. I was 3-0, and just like the same week the Dolphins lost, I lost. Now I'm 3-1. So
I'm okay with 2-0. I'm okay with 2-2 in my fantasy. That'll get me into the playoffs.
That's right.
Yeah.
I should have started Zay Jones though. Zay Jones has 9.8 right now.
Yeah. What's he have to say?
I'm playing Alex.
To interview the guy on the team that said he has speed that could possibly match him in. Is Bonner? What the heck? I don't know what that means.
A player? That's what a player there?
I don't know.
So Ian Rappaport had said an hour ago that it's not expected to have Saquon Barkley, but he's coming. He's going to play.
It's not expected to play. I'm sorry. I can't read. It's not expected to play. My apologies. Mea culpa. Not expected to play. Sorry.
Evan made a mistake. Guys, note it. Screenshot this. Screen record.
Pigs fly. Not expected to play. I make a lot of. I pronounce names well. I just don't read well.
That's correct. Let me make sure. Okay, let's.
Oh, Bonner. Okay. That's totally fine.
I could find. That's true. The Dolphins. That's some news. Dolphins update. Dolphins call up defensive end Chase Winovich, for today's game. And now that I said that, I want to put this up. I have to edit this, but I'm going to put this up as we're talking here.
You want to hear an interesting stat? Like, this is such a weird thing they post. Field is strong shape for Miami New York Giants game. Quick turnaround with rainy Canes game ending at 11:30. Dolphins had problems in the past with sod from vendors, so owner Stephen Ross and president CEO Tom Garfinkel spent $10+ million to build a sod farm and now grow turf for quality control. You want to talk about a guy, Stephen Ross, who puts his money where his mouth is? He's very proud of that stadium. He treats that stadium like it's his home. Like,
well, that's the thing, like you could say whatever you want about him as a managing owner of a team, who he hires, whatever. But when it comes to the brand, it's there. You go. That's right. That's awesome. Josh Wingate in the house. The one and only Wingate of the Beer and Sports Podcast. I'm assuming Phillips is out. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen anything yet, but you could be right on there.
With the guys with an oblique. And by the way, that's why I was disappointed last week. Like someone like Ogba, this is your opportunity to prove your worth, and you're not showing it. So,
well, the week before he showed it. The week before he showed out. But no, this is more on. We know who Emmanuel Ogba is. We know what he could do. We're still waiting, even though Bradley Chubb has shown flashes. He hasn't shown it. He needs to come in and show, hey, I was worth that first rounder last year. Rob was wrong. He needs to show that Rob of DolphinsThirsty.com was wrong. And so far he has not. He had some flashes, but he hasn't shown that he's worth it, which sucks, but it is what it is. Same thing with Armstead, but let me just make sure I make my notes here. I wrote what you said, and now I have to change it.
Yeah, it's amazing they bought a farm. This is that's the thing about the foundation of the organization, which is I'm going to be amazed to see next week, is just the ability to care about the team, the franchise, the way things are. It's just such a nice feel. Like when you look at that stadium from a distance and you see the area that Miami Gardens was when it was Joe Robbie and Pro Player, and used to be on that field and used to see the Marlins design playing on that baseball field. Like, what a difference. What a difference. It's such a pleasure to see it.
So remember
you don't agree? You don't agree with me?
I didn't say I disagree. I just let you rant, and then I'm going to go into my next topic.
I'm giving compliments to our team.
Absolutely. Now, I don't have to agree. I don't have to say it out loud. I agree. I said it already. I want to talk about this, though. Let's talk about predictions. Remember last week that only one guy picked the Dolphins? So this week, let's run down this list very quick. Sports Illustrated, Albert Breer, Dolphins. Mitch Goldick, Dolphins. Claire Kuwana, Dolphins. Gilbert Manzano, Dolphins. Connor Orr, Dolphins. 2 more Dolphins. USA Today, Jared Bell, Dolphins 34-20. Chris Bompace 31-23 Dolphins. Nate Davis 40-10. Wouldn't that be nice for Miami?
Oh my God.
Safad Dean 34-17 Miami.
His name is Safed. Let me repeat. It's Safed Dean.
Listen, you just messed up on the news with Saquon. You just sit back and stay quiet for a minute.
Safed Dean.
Whatever.
I read him. He's good. He's
a
homer. He's a homer. He's a homer.
Is he? Tyler Dragon 28-20 Miami.
That's too close.
That's too close for comfort for me. Victoria Hernandez 32-10 Miami. My goodness. Michael Middlehorse Schwartz 38-21. Lorenzo Reyes 39-14. These are all Miami. The Ringer, the Sporting News 38-17 Miami. The Ringer, Miami 10.5.
We're the largest spread heading into today's game. We're plus 12.5, I think.
Okay, let me see if I find anybody that says Giants. I'm not going to. Everyone picks Miami. Does that make you happy or nervous?
Doesn't make me nervous at all, because if they had the Giants much closer, then that tells you that everyone's falling off the fact that the Dolphins are not a strong franchise and are not going to learn from their mistakes. Because the one thing I will say is they've shown this year that they've adjusted in game. Now they have to adjust from a poor game. And we're playing at home. Like I said, if we were on the road still, this would be a nerve-wracking game if we were playing in New York. This is our home game. We've played one home game this season, and it was one of the most enjoyable experiences we've ever had. So all I need to do when I watch the games is not read a word that Brett Lagasse has to say, and I'm content with my life.
No
comment. Ripping our front seven before the game even starts.
Oh, he was talking about the game before that, not today's game.
No, he was already ripping the front seven on Twitter with Stager.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, talking about Claypool, and then they were starting ripping the front seven.
Yeah, well, again, nobody should say anything about Claypool because it's a low. It's not even a risk. It's a high reward. Just stop. Nobody.
Like Robbie Chosen is low risk. Like this is nothing.
Yeah, yeah. But let me ask this. So let me talk about this, and I want to ask this question for you. In case nobody knows, the Terran Armstead was put on IR.
Yeah,
he is out for at least 4 weeks. Could be more, but he's out for 4 weeks.
Surprise.
He missed 2 games at the start. Now missing another 4, maybe more, depending how it goes down. I mean, if you talked about it, I missed it, and I apologize. But I want to hear it from you. Your thoughts on Armstead right now? I mean, it
doesn't bother me because I knew that he'd be injury prone, and you're going to be shocked that I'm going to say this, considering the fact of how hard I've been on this person. Connor Williams is more critical to the function of that offensive line than Terran Armstead. Okay,
I'm going to pull an Evan. Who said it last week?
You.
I did.
He calls the play. He calls the play. You saw it last week, the dysfunction, 4 sacks. They weren't giving up sacks when Connor Williams was there.
Thank you, Eichenberg, for getting Armstead hurt.
Okay. But I will say this with Terran Armstead. Let him rest up. I want him to be, honestly, let him get healthy. I want him for the stretch run in December and January when it matters. Same thing with Jalen Ramsey.
If he can play at least 4 to 5 weeks in the playoffs, we're okay.
I want him December to January. I don't care about now. Kendall Lamb will do an Omen's job because Kendall Lamb has not had a poor game. Last week was a mess for everybody. And by the way, what was the key mess? No Connor Williams. Connor Williams, I've never criticized Connor Williams as a blocker. I've never considered as a center. I'm concerned about his snapping. But as an overall core leader of that defense, of offensive line, now I understand why they put him there. They see him as a Jason Kelsey. They see him as a guy who is an experienced guy who does what he needs to do to keep the unison of that offensive line. When the offensive line has been cooking and doing decently, Connor Williams is at center. It's just that's the reality of it. because people believe in what he has, and he's a great blocker. Like I think Connor Williams looked like he's about to play today, and honestly, he'll keep Tua clean. He'll keep Tua clean.
So, and this might be what I don't know who said it before. Who wrote this? Was it Scotty? But yeah, so just talking Cameron Wolf of Twitter. Field in strong shape for Miami and Giants. Quick turn on the Rady Canes game ending after 11:30 p.m. Dolphins had problems in past with sod from vendors, so owner Stephen Ross and president CEO Tom Garfinkel spent $10 million to build a sod farm and now grow turf
said
for
this
quality
10
control.
minutes ago.
It's paying off. So let me just talk about Garfinkel.
I said that 10 minutes ago.
Shut up. Let me talk. So Tom Garfinkel, because I'm always giving love to Ross, especially when deserved. But Garfinkel's another one. Talking about brand of this team and brand of this organization, because he not just helps the team, he helps the overall brand. He's another one that does.
Want the announcement? Breaking news.
Oh, hold on.
Breaking news.
Go for it.
Not breaking news. Not breaking news. I'm just trying to interrupt you. The enactors for today's game: Skylar Thompson, do a emergency third quarterback. No Kelvin Joseph, no Jalen Phillips, no Savon Ahmed, no Chase Claypool, no Brandon Peely. So that means that Deshaun Elliott is back. No, that means Deshaun Elliott is back. Thank the Lord, because Brandon Jones was a mess last year, and we have Connor Williams back. So two key elements that were missing last week. That is big news for the Miami Dolphins to have those two players back in the lineup, two starters.
And you brought this up earlier, which and because I said Bradley Chubb, but you brought up Agba. Agba could be a cap casualty after this season. He's going to want to show, or maybe trade before that. Who never knows? But he wants to show that he's worth a contract, a good contract. He's going to need to show out, especially with Jalen Phillips being out. He's going to want to show that he's worth a pretty penny. So let's hope that he comes out today. Is Deshaun Hand on the 53? I believe he is.
I believe he is, yes.
Yeah. I can't blame an injury on an offensive lineman when he gets rolled. Sure. Yeah. In a perfect world, you're absolutely right. Can't blame him. It's football. Football happens. But someone for Terran Armstead who gets hurt any time of the day, majority of the time, it's fair to talk about injuries. Fins up, Rob, DolphinsThirsty.com had a great show before ours on Dolphins Thirsty YouTube. I really look forward to seeing Rob next week. Josh Wingate, who would have thought the center was the important position on the offensive line? Who would have thought? Scotty, Baker, OG, Emmanuel Agba, Wilkins, Davis will not be on the team next season, in my opinion. Oh, so let me ask you this, Scotty. We know Agba, and again, I think Agba could be trade bait coming toward the deadline at the end of the month. Christian Wilkins, if you think he's not going to be on this team, are you trading him at the deadline? Or are you in order to keep this, keep some of the strengths on this roster, do you wait and maybe have a Mike Gesicki situation? You lose him next year for nothing. Let me know. Would you trade him right now? What's up, Daniel? Good morning, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. Fins up. Whoa. Let's not call Colin Williams a great blocker. Yeah,
I would.
He's not going to admit that. He's not going to admit that.
Of course. If he was a good blocker, of course, he's a cowboy.
That's right. He ain't going to admit that. It's okay.
He's a hater.
Evan, would you first off, do you think they work out an extension for Christian Wilkins? Do you think he's worth a $20+ million extension? Or would you trade him?
Don't they have him on the books for next year anyways? He's not a free agent at the end of the year, I don't think.
I don't think he's a free agent at the end of the year. But
they can franchise. Honestly, they're going to wait till the end of the year. If we get to the playoffs and he struggles continually mightily this season, but they want to give him one more shot, they might just out of loyalty, they might franchise tag him, or they're going to trade him. But honestly, think about this. If he still wants $20-25 million, I'd rather get Chris Jones for $27-28 million. So I rather go get another defensive player. So for me, I know they play different positions, but right now Christian Wilkins.
So Rob is saying that he will be a free agent unless they tag him.
Exactly.
So,
yes. I just said they might franchise tag him. I believe that Christian Wilkins right now is a $16 million defensive player.
Yes, I'm okay with that.
I don't think he's worth a penny more.
No. And again, let me just show this. I'm going to show this, what I showed yesterday, and let me find it. Talk about the top trades. Again, the Miami should consider.
Oh, Cam Smith is active. That's nice to know.
Yeah, he is.
Snap.
Do we know Nick Needham's supposed to play? Is he playing?
No, he's not playing.
Okay.
He wasn't on the inactive, but I think he might still be on PUP. I don't know.
Okay. So just talk about possible trades Miami should make, and the situation with the defensive line right now with Miami. Again, there's one player these players. Yeah, there's some that cost more than others, but the players that I have on here, you say, oh, but are you willing to give up a high pick for them? Yeah, the ones that would be worth a high pick, I would. These are the 5 players. In case anybody missed yesterday's show, I would consider, or I would hope Miami would make the move for. And Evan and I touched on it, but let me go ahead and show that, Evan, very quick. Because, again, we're talking about Christian Wilkins. You would hope that he would be that 20-plus million, because that means he was worth it. But so far, as you've said, as most of us have said, he hasn't shown it. And I remember at the beginning of the year, I said, he's not a $20 million player. Sorry about your Miami. You son of a... No, that's fair. It happens. It's all right, Wingate.
Yeah, but look at the Braves yesterday. Look at the Twins. Every team. Do you understand Clayton Kershaw literally gave up like 6 consecutive hits? Like the Diamondbacks, who people couldn't name more than 2 players on the Diamondbacks, crushed them. I mean,
no, but the Phillies played. I mean, the 2-game Phillies.
Bryce Harper, holy cramoly,
dude! No, it was. I was like, I was like, it was just what it is. But I'm proud of the Miami Marlins. I'm proud. The first female GM in baseball, team in the playoffs. I'm excited about the future for the Marlins. So congratulations to the Phillies. Hopefully they could get the job done this year. They didn't get it done last year. Hopefully they do it this year, just for our friends Josh Wingate and Brett Lagasse. But other than that,
well, then I'm not cheering for the Phillies at all.
Yeah, other than that, yeah. But here are the 5 trades that I say. And there's one player I would make the move for at defensive line that he wants an extension. He just signed a 1-year deal for this year to get a little bit of
CJ.
But there's one player that, yes, Evan, I know some people will fight me on giving up any kind of draft pick, but if you want to make an impact on this defense, the dude I'm going to bring up here, or the guys you're going to see in case anybody missed it, the guy at the end is the guy you want to make that impact, especially for defensive line. He will improve that line day one. All right, so there you go. I didn't talk throughout that one. I was trying to get, but I like that from Wingate. If you let him walk, you get that compensatory pick, whatever you call it.
Compensatory.
Who gives a crap? You got it wrong earlier. Don't talk. You're not allowed to
talk.
No,
I read something wrong. I didn't just pronounce it wrong.
But what a second round pick, a third round pick? What do you think we'd get for him?
Who?
Christian Wilkins.
Second or third, maybe.
But anyway, those are the top 5 trades I think the Dolphins should look at before the deadline to help improve this roster.
Would you like to know the inactives for the Giants game?
Absolutely. Giants? What's up, Danny? Danny Montez tuning in. Fins up.
So the inactive for the Giants today are running back Saquon Barkley, safety Javarius Owens, linebacker Micah McFadden, center John Michael Schmitz, guard Shane Lemieux, tackle Andrew Thomas, and defensive lineman Jordan Riley. So they're missing 3 guys on their offensive line.
There you go. Forgot X. But X could be a guy that we lose after this season.
It all depends on Ramsey, right? Like We're going to have him for the whole year because we need him for the stretch run. And trust me, he's motivated. He was pissed last week. He's not happy with Fangio and how he was utilized last week. He wanted Diggs. He wanted to show his worth.
I know.
That's the one thing I don't question Xavier Howard for. He's a ball hawk. He wants the football. He doesn't want to be roaming around doing nothing all game. He was bored last week.
So let's go ahead and we'll let the news keep flowing in, and we'll update as the day goes on for game day. But let's go ahead and look at the games.
Don't you love the barn burner? 11-7 with 7.
I was just going to tell you, give us the update on Buffalo versus
11-7. Jaguars have the ball. 7:56 left in the third. 11-7.
Come on,
Let's
Jacksonville.
Go Jaguars. Let's go Jaguars.
So the Chicago Bears versus the Washington Commanders, that happened on Thursday night. Chicago won 40-20. Sam Howell had 388 yards. Herbert had 76, and DJ Moore 230 yards receiving.
What?
Whoa!
By the way, when is the last time? Remember, after 2 weeks. Oh, the Commanders are great. Eric Bieniemy's doing a great job. Sam Howell's going to be a great quarterback. They lost to the Bears 40-20. Like, what?
Well, it's week by week. I don't really look at it.
No, but people were already praising the Commanders. They are who they thought they were.
Yeah. We lost to the Buffalo Bills. It is what it is. Life.
So what?
Life.
So what?
Life.
The Chiefs lost to the Lions. Okay, I don't care.
Exactly.
The Bills lost to the Jets. Like,
let's not jinx it.
Well, the Ravens lost to the Colts.
Let's not jinx it. We're playing the Giants today.
Who the Cowboys lose to?
Oh, gee, here we go. Who? What happened now? These teams need to stop worrying about veterans and get better at drafting players.
Yeah,
sure.
F them
perfect
picks.
world.
F them picks.
Them picks. That's how it feels, right? Lions are a good squad. I absolutely agree with that.
But they haven't proven nothing in it yet. They haven't proven.
But they are a good team. We know.
Yeah, of course they are. But they've yet to make the playoffs. They've yet to prove anything.
But let's look at.
I miss Wayne Fonts. I loved Wayne Fonts. He was a good coach. I like that.
Let's go ahead and look at Week 5's matchups here and make our predictions, Evan. Jacksonville and Buffalo's going on right now. You see Jacksonville's up 11-7. You got the Houston Texans versus the Atlanta Falcons. Make sure here. Who do you got winning this game?
I have the Houston Texans going over 500. I like CJ Stroud the way he played last game, and I think they're just playing with house money, the Texans. I don't believe in the Falcons at all. I have more faith in CJ Stroud than in Damian Pierce in that group than I do in Desmond Ridder. And I think that D'Amico Ryans is going to whip up an interesting scheme to stop Bashawn Robinson today. And I think the Texans are going to go over 500. Shockingly.
I'm with you. I think the Texans win today. They're trending up right now.
Yeah.
We just talked about the Lions, and another young team that could trend up. Carolina Panthers at Detroit. I have Detroit. Am I wrong?
Nope. Really simple. They're just they have weapons on the Panthers team, but they're not ready to win yet.
All right. We move on to Indianapolis. You got the Tennessee Titans versus the Indianapolis Colts. Does Tennessee pull it off against the Colts?
Is Taylor playing? Is Jonathan Taylor playing?
He should be, right? Let's check it out.
That makes a big decision. That makes a very big difference to me.
He signed the contract. It's been more than
but is he ready to play? Has he practiced enough that he's playing?
Let's see. 3 hours ago, he said for the shoe.
If he's not
playing, here we go. Yeah, let's see. Mike Garofalo. The Colts will get their return on their new deal with Jonathan Taylor in the long run, but expect a split between him and Zach Moss today as they ease Taylor back into action. So he will play today.
Okay, but I do believe that either way, I do believe that the Titans will win.
I got the Titans.
I got the Titans winning this game. In spite of Ryan Tannehill. Because every time I say in spite of Ryan Tannehill, he does well.
So
he hears me.
That's right. We'll skip the Giants-Dolphins game for the end. Obviously, we know we're rolling there, but I want to keep that for the end. You got the New Orleans Saints versus the New England Patriots. Who do you got rolling? Who are you rolling with on this game?
They're a disaster, the Patriots. They lost Christian Gonzalez. Even with Jameis Winston, the New Orleans Saints have a bad taste in their mouth from last week. I think the Saints go into New England and beat the Patriots.
I'm with you. I can't pick the Patriots after what I've seen. I'm going with the New Orleans Saints. A good AFC North game, even though Pittsburgh is struggling. You got the Baltimore Ravens versus the Steelers. Could Pittsburgh pull off the upset here?
No. Lamar Jackson is going to have a good game, and the Ravens are just going to have the Steelers number again today. They're going to win. Ravens are going to win this game. You?
No, I'm going to roll with Baltimore. I can't.
I said you're running with the ball. I just said I roll with Baltimore. What did you say?
I just told you.
Okay. Hey, so you agree with me? You said no. You agree with me. Thank you.
All right. Eagles go to the Rams. I do not expect an upset. I think the Eagles get this win. Evan, am I wrong?
Puka Nakua.
Whoa, are you rolling with the
Rams
upset?
are upset. They have honestly, the Rams are the Eagles have not played one great game yet. There's something off about them. And I just have a feeling that McVay, I just have a weird feeling. If it was in Philadelphia, no problem. I think they're going to go into SoFi and the upset's going to take place. I think they're going to lose their first game of the year.
Wow, that'd be epic. All right, so this is funny because I'm looking at this as ESPN right now, Evan, and I'm looking at the end of the list there says tickets as low as, and this game the tickets are as low as $19 to go to this football game. It's the Cincinnati Bengals at the Arizona Cardinals. Who wins and who do you have winning?
Bengals are going to win, but they're not going to play very well either. It's going to be the Bengals.
I'm with you. I got the Bengals as well. The Jets play Denver. Denver finally got a win. The Jets should have probably won last week. All fairness, I'm going to have to roll with the Jets for this game. I'm going New York over Denver.
Unfortunately, I have to roll with the Jets. I have to roll with the Jets. Because that defense will get to Russell Wilson, and I think last week showed that Zach Wilson goofed up, but that was a phantom call with Sauce Gardner. I'm not a fan of the Jets, but obviously they have to win sooner or later.
Next one, we have. Again, I'm looking at the ticket prices. It's so funny. You got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Minnesota Vikings. Again, Vikings, their record's not great, but they got good players. I mean, people say whatever they want about Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson. Can those two lead an upset against the Chiefs today?
No, they cannot.
Okay.
The Chiefs have also not played very well, but it's still the Chiefs, and they're 2-0 with. She's there for today's game too, so they'll be 3. They'll win again.
I'm with you. I got the Chiefs as well. The next game though is that one's a heavy hitter, and the tickets go as low as $245 a ticket. You got the Dallas Cowboys at San Francisco. How does this roll, Evan?
Just like Noodle Roni, it's a San Francisco treat. San Francisco will beat the Cowboys.
Interesting. I'm going to roll with Dallas to win this game. I'm going with Dallas.
Without Trayvon Diggs? Without Trayvon Diggs.
I'm going
covering
Parsons still there?
Who is covering Debo?
Is Micah Parsons still there?
Can he cover Ayuk and Debo and McCaffrey?
I'm rolling with the Cowboys. I am rolling with the Cowboys.
Not a chance.
Whatever.
Prescott's going to throw 3 interceptions.
Okay.
Trey Lance Cooper Rush and Trey Lance will be in the game by the second half.
All right. Next one is the Green Bay Packers at the Raiders.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm going with the Packers. That's Monday night
with the Raiders.
Over the Raiders. There you go. We're split
even
on
without
that
Jimmy G if he's injured. It's in Vegas. I think it'll just be a little bit of a sour game. Devontae Adams will have a game no matter what.
Do you know that that's the highest ticket game? Tickets as low as $275.
Where, the Vegas game?
Yeah.
Bananas.
That's crazy.
Have you watched the Cowboys? Bland had 2 picks on it. I don't care. You as long as you side with questioning my Dolphins. I was nice.
Don't do that. Come on, man. Be unbiased.
Wait. I have to.
Is that why you picked the Cowboys?
No, because I need the Stephen A. Smith. I need the Stephen A. Smith Instagram post laughing. It ends my Sunday night on a high.
Okay. Well, just because you say it doesn't mean it's going to happen. You just be real. Then you're
I
on the
haven't
side
heard-
of being right.
I know.
Don't you get sick of being wrong? Today's
Who's on the bye this week?
the bye is Cleveland, Chargers, Seattle, and Tampa.
That's an early bye. I would
It
not
is an
want to buy
early
this
bye.
early.
I'm surprised by that. All right. So, all right, Evan. So again, we're gonna hold it. We can't get rid of that bum playing linebacker, Bobby. Get back to reality. Who are we talking about, Daniel?
You can't get rid of.
Are you talking about Chubb? Who are you talking about?
It was probably Agba. Probably Agba.
You can get rid of Agba. What are you talking about? You get rid of anybody.
G is clear. I give up in 2 weeks. And I can't say normally.
If you're talking about Terran Armstead, that's going to be tough. You're going to have to wait out past June 6th. You're going to have to eat some cap.
Bugging you, Wingate. I have to have some fun with you.
I give honest opinions about the Dolphins, and 2 weeks after I say it, you normally agree with it. Yeah. All right. Jimmy G is cleared. Okay, there you go.
Okay, that's really fine with me.
All right, Evan. What are your keys to secure a Miami Dolphins victory today against the Giants?
Win the turnover battle. Can I say that again? Can we win the turnover battle? Because what happened last week when we lost the turnover battle? We lost the game. Win the turnover battle. I'm not worried about the offense in any way, shape, or form in today's football game. It's all defense. Win the turnover battle. Contain Josh Allen. It's not Josh Allen. Contain Daniel Jones. And I want to see at least 3 sacks from this team. 3 sacks, contain Josh Allen, get to the quarterback, contain him inside the pocket, do not let him make plays outside the pocket, and interceptions. I'm not worried about the offense. The offense will be on full gear today. Like, I'm not worried about that. A-Chain's going to have a game. Mostert's going to redeem himself. That I'm not worried about. It's really defense.
All right. So
and I have a prediction. Jason Sanders will kick a 50-plus yard field goal today.
You always have to bring him up.
By the way, I'm going to be giving him a hug. By the way, I'm bringing a sign. Next week, I'll make one. I love you, Jason.
Oh, stop it. All right. So
the Laces were in. They were in.
Win both sides in the trenches, and we put up a 40 burger. I love it. Rob, he did say this on pregame for Dolphins Thursday. Dolphins 34-16. Fins up. So for me, it is contain Daniel Jones. He's the poor man's version of Josh Allen. We saw what Josh Allen did against the Dolphins last week. Do not let Daniel Jones get hype on himself. Contain him. Force him to make mistakes. Commit to the run. Commit to that balanced offense. Get back to running the ball. Get Mozart hot fast. HN is going to get the most of the snaps, but Mozart will get that in the passing game, in the running game. Get him going. Get him rolling fast. And of course, I'm with you. Get the turnovers. Win that turnover battle. That's your keys to secure a Miami Dolphins victory. I'm not worried about scoring on the Giants defense, so I won't even say it today. Yeah, score often, hammer it in, but don't worry. I'm not worried about scoring because they're going to do it. But yes, contain Josh Allen. Commit to running the ball and having that balanced attack. Get Mozart hot early with HN. Win the turnover battle. Eric Rivera, defense has to show their presence. Corners play physical for us to be up there on Diaz. Absolutely. The defense should have a big game today. They're playing against the 31st best offense in football. They better have a big game. Scotty Evan will kick. He'll kick a 50-yarder and miss it.
See, I didn't even say that. I gave positivity. He's the negative one. What did Jason Sanders ever do to Scotty?
He was probably riding shotgun with you in the car when you guys got cut off. All right. Your prediction, sir.
For today's game.
Yes.
I haven't even contemplated it yet. Final score, Dolphins 45.
Yo.
Giants 14.
Yo. All right. Evan has it 45-14.
And what was your
Dolphins.
prediction?
Mine was 38-17, Miami.
45-14. Because they're going to score 6. They're going to get 6 touchdowns. And Jason Sanders will kick a 50-yarder.
There you go. All right,
But
guys.
honestly,
So
let me ask you something. Can I ask you an
go
interesting
ahead.
question?
Of course.
Well, since from what you've seen, the Buffalo game and then the Chargers get, do you prefer when we kick off, or do you prefer when we receive? Do you prefer that we score first or defend first?
Defend first.
Even though it's been a struggle for us in both games.
Yeah, I would rather receive in the half to have that chance to score. If you score at the end of the
But
half,
that's what I was most disappointed about last game, is that I agree with you. The problem is that McDaniel, what made us so impressed with him is that he tried to get points in that first game, and then last game he crapped the bed. Like, he didn't try to get points.
Oh, that was a bad game last week for McDaniel.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, that could be, you could say that's a key to victory. Is he has to have a better game today. What? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're from Florida.
I am.
I'm coming to Florida this week.
Yes, sir.
I'm not bringing one long sleeve item because it's going to be 90 degrees. How does Mike McDaniel wear?
Oh my gosh, dude! I sweat watching him.
I don't get it. He's wearing a freaking sweater that I would wear in negative degree weather here. How does he wear those long sleeve thick sweaters?
Every game. Well, he might be like my wife. My wife at 70, 80 degrees, she will wear long sleeves and a jacket. You know, she is. That's how they are. So he might be just like, because he's a thin dude. We call him Flacco. You know, he's skinny. So he may get cold easily.
I don't get it. I'm sweating watching.
It was 40 degrees last night. It's back to 60 now. I love it.
It's freezing here today.
Yeah, we play. My kids call it 5-0. You know, but we play on our patio, outside patio. We play tag football. My wife throws for my daughter, and I throw for my son. But of course, all my wife and my daughter were freezing last night playing that game. It was a lot of fun. I loved it. I love cold weather. It was nice for me. Diggs is pissed.
Who?
Stephon Diggs.
Let Diggs be pissed.
He's slamming stuff.
Yeah. What do you call it? It's 11-7 after 3. No points were scored in that quarter. Can you believe that?
Kyler Williams.
Not one point was scored in that quarter. Not 1 point.
So,
can you believe that? It's 11-7 after 3.
I love it. Evan, do you still have the inactives list in front of you?
I know it off by heart, but yes.
Okay, let's rehash it for everybody. Okay, what's the inactives for today?
Inactives are Savon Ahmed, Brandon Peely, Kelvin Joseph, Jalen Phillips, and Skylar. That's it. Kelvin Joseph, Jalen Phillips, Savon Ahmed, Chase Claypool, and Brandon Peely. Because Skylar Thompson doesn't count because he's the emergency.
Absolutely. Yeah. And let me just go ahead. So Savon Ahmed is a healthy scratch. That tells you what they think about Devon Achin, Raheem Mostert, and Chris Brooks. He's our third back right now.
Yeah.
So Brooks could be, we might get our wishes today. Chris Brooks might get some reps.
Yeah.
My wife, it's 68 degrees inside of the house and I'm dying. So dramatic. Colts. Cold is coming to New York City. Jags on the move. So Jalen Phillips not being active is a little surprising, but they clearly didn't feel comfortable with what they saw this week. Cam Smith is active. That is huge. I would hope he has a big game today. I'm just reading this through before we close out. Make sure I'm not missing anything. But right now, looking at some of the tailgate. So let's just talk on this very quick, guys, before we wrap this up. Next week pregame, we'll be live. If everything goes well, in regards to connection and everything else, we'll be live on location for the Giants versus the Panthers. Evan and I will be live at Hard Rock with the stadium doing our pregame show. We are super excited. So make sure that you are subscribing to the channel if you haven't yet and you're tuning in. We're going to have a blast. Fish Tank Hank, some of the big names. Hopefully we get some people on there. If not, that's okay.
Thirsty, let's go. Get to the stadium early, buddy.
Rob, no pressure, Rob. You do what you can do, man. I know you're doing it. But anyway, it's going to be a blast. Evan, fill everybody in. What's going on next week, my man?
Oh, next week, myself, Bobby, and members of the FTSN network, it's fan club weekend. We're going to have a blast. We're going to be doing probably bandwagon show Friday, maybe a mix of Fins Talk today. We might have a show on Saturday. It depends on what we do on Friday night. And then we're going to be enjoying a nice fan club party in Fort Lauderdale at Boat Campers. Probably we're going to have a lot of fun there. And then we're going to be early at the stadium. I surprised Bobby to let him know that we have tailgating passes for next week. We don't have to walk a mile. We're going to be in the orange section with everybody. I'm going to make sure to bring him a 6-pack of his favorite Coke. We're going to have some fun. We're going to get some drinks. We're going to go bang it out at Publix. We should go do that maybe Saturday night, pick up everything we need at Publix that we need for the day after. And We're just going to have a great time. We have great seats to the game right at the Dolphins tunnel. We're going to get some pictures. We're going to have some fun. It's just going to be a lot of fun. Like to be there with the FTSN family, to just enjoy ourselves. It's been a blast. Bobby and I have been doing this remotely for going on almost a year and a half, and it's going to be great for everyone to meet each other. It's going to be a blast.
Absolutely. We got a kid sneaking in the back.
You don't have to duck, Zach. Zach, you can wait to the network, buddy. Say hi.
Hi. You got twins, right? You got twin boys?
Identical twin boys, yeah.
So how did you know that was Zach and not the other son?
Because they don't look exactly the same anymore, and one's not here.
Oh, well, that's easy enough.
I always tell people I have a son, I have a daughter, and I have someone who likes a mixture of both in terms of activity. So I have a real athlete behind me. And then the other one is more like the dancer and more like the mix of everything. And then my daughter, so both of them are at their dance classes, and he's with me because he has hockey later.
There you go. There you go. Awesome. All right, guys. Hey, look, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. We're at the hour. We usually run a little longer, but I'm going to go check in with my kids, get some stuff together. We will be back tonight, 8:00 Eastern, for the Miami Dolphins postgame show, celebrating the Dolphins win, going back to the win column, 4-1. FinStanza will be there. I'll be there. Whoever wants to join us is welcome. So any final thoughts, Evan, before we wrap it up?
Why did the Jags keep on giving back the ball to the Bills? Letting them stay in this game. I don't understand that. But no, any final words? I can't wait that this time next week we're already going to be partying it up after 3 days of partying before the game even starts. I'm excited for a Dolphins victory. Fan club weekend coming up. It's just going to be a blast. This week is going to be such a fun week to plan this. It's going to be a blast.
And I do want to say this. I talk about trades again. I'm saying don't sleep on trades. And this funny enough, King of Finland at King of Finland on Twitter. Says, per Adam Schefter, the Broncos will be willing to listen to trade interest in almost any player on their defense. With the Dolphins struggling,
because their defense sucks.
So some potential targets. Obviously, I brought up Kareem Jackson, but he has Pat Surtain II, Justin Simmons, Nick Bonito, edge rusher, middle linebacker Josie Jewell. That would be a good one.
Yeah,
and edge rusher Jonathan Cooper. Pat Surtain might be a tough get. That would be a tough get. I would love it out of nostalgia. Oh. I would lose my mind out of nostalgia. But realistically, I'd be shocked if they even considered moving Pat Surtain, despite getting blown out by Chosen Anderson or Robbie Chosen, whatever it is. But anyway, something to sit on. We'll talk about it obviously throughout the week. Got great Dolphins content here on the channel. We got post game later tonight. Tomorrow night, we got East 10th Street Boys. We'll talk Dolphins, Heat, Marlins, etc. We got, of course, Tuesday night, Real Talk, Fins Talk with Rob and Steve. And, of course, Bandwagon on Thursday night. Thursday night, Bandwagon could be Fins Talk today in the Bandwagon live on location at the Dolphins Stadium Hotel. We're trying to work it out. We'll get information out on Twitter and our socials as it gets closer. If Aaron Donald is available, do you? Yeah, damn right.
Oh, yeah.
If I say Chris Jones, you can get Aaron Donald.
You go get anybody.
Yeah, I'm down 100%. Scotty, was that Scotty who said that? Forgive me, I missed that. Yeah, 100%, Scotty. I would. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Scotty, Eric,
Thirsty,
sure.
Wingate,
Daniel, Rob, Eric, Wingate, everyone tuning in. Danny Montez. I look forward to seeing you all tonight after the game, celebrating a Dolphins victory. R.L. Lyles, good morning, sir. We'll see you later. Ender, thank you all for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, and most importantly,
Fins up, buddies.
See you guys later.